Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to be making a gluten-free pumpkin bread filled with cheesecake. Now, I love this recipe because we have so many components going on, but primarily something that I wanted to let you guys know is that this is not your basic pumpkin bread loaf that is like cakey. Guys, this recipe that I made and experimented on, mind you, I did this recipe 6 times to perfect that texture that I really wanted to achieve in this. And pretty much this is like a brownie texture with like banana bread, carrots bread, pumpkin bread kind of like taste, and with like cheesecake. I mean, imagine all those flavors. I mean, guys, I had a lot of fun making this, trial and error, but honestly, I finally got what I was looking for. So don't be expecting that this recipe is like dry and cakey. No, this baby is thick. This baby is like a brownie, but it doesn't have chocolate, so don't worry. I'm just saying the consistency of a very nice brownie mixed with like cake and cheesecake. You guys just have to try this recipe. And I want to also let you guys know that in the cheesecake filling, we're not going to be adding like more flour or like literally like more eggs and stuff like that. No, the secret ingredient here is literally this cheesecake filling only needs 2 main ingredients, and that is cream cheese, 5 ounces, and leche condensada, literally condensed milk, canned condensed milk. I mean, it's so simple, it's so basic, but honestly, the end result, it is unbelievable. Guys, I hope you enjoy this recipe as much as I loved making it, and please give this video a big like, a big share, to hit that notification button so you never miss a video with Chef D. Let's get rolling.
I definitely recommend gathering all of your ingredients first just to make things really simple. And let's get started with our cheesecake filling. Place your wet napkin on the bottom of the surface and place on top your medium bowl. Now for the cream cheese. I'm using 5 ounces of softened cream cheese, regular full fat cream cheese, but please guys, this needs to be room temperature. It cannot be cold because if not, it won't smooth up or whisk. Next, we're adding our leche condensada, aka sweetened condensed milk. This is what's really gonna bring everything together. I didn't want to use more ingredients and I didn't want to use more flours and eggs. And now we're going to be adding my favorite extract, and that is orange extract. And that is just gonna bring a pop of that flavor that I love for this filling. Now, if you don't have orange extract, you can definitely use lemon or lime extract. And now we're going to zest away our beautiful tart orange, and that is just going to add another level of not only flavor but texture. And honestly, it just looks really amazing against that cream cheese and sweetened condensed milk. Now let's get to whisking away, and this is why, if you see here, it needs to be room temperature. I'm literally just mashing it up a little bit against the sweetened condensed milk and then flowing with it. So as you see in the video, a little bit of mashing, and then we're going to start stirring and then whisking as we go about it. This is a quick leftover tip. If you have the 3 ounces of leftover softened cream cheese and 1/4 of a cup of sweetened condensed milk, what you can do is mix that up in a bowl, small bowl, a little bit of extract, a little bit of that zest, mix it up and set it aside for later use. And this will actually be the topping, the icing for the bread. Now for the pumpkin bread prep. Place a damp paper towel in the bottom and place your large bowl on the top. Mind you, this is the only bowl we're going to be using throughout the recipe. Now let's place in your 1 cup of pumpkin puree. Mind you, this is not pumpkin filling, it's pure pumpkin puree. So when you're at the grocery store, please get the puree and not the pumpkin filling. Now pour in your 1/3 cup of either vegetable oil or canola oil. Mix, and now let's place in our 3 large eggs. Now we're going to be trading in our spatula for a whisk. Once you do this, start whisking away those eggs until everything becomes mixed and smooth. Once the mix becomes smooth, add in your 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I definitely recommend good quality vanilla extract for this recipe, is that it really does make the difference. Now we're moving on to the dry ingredient portion of this recipe. Let's begin by adding 3/4 of a cup of white granulated sugar. Add in 1/2 cup of either dark brown sugar or regular brown sugar. Let's start by balancing things out by adding 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, preferably gluten-free baking powder. Whisk away so we can get everything incorporated before we add in the flour. Now for the gluten-free flour, I like adding this 1/2 by 1/2, meaning I'll add 1/2 the flour in, I'll whisk away until smooth, and then add the other 1/2 and do it again, whisk until smooth. Now, mind you, I did make this recipe 6 times to honestly get it at the consistency that I wanted. And the brands that I use were Arrowhead and Bob's Red Mills. Now I use these because they have xanthan gum inside of them. If in the ingredients bag it doesn't say that it has xanthan gum, then please add in 1/4 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And what this does is literally binds everything together when baking. Another tip that I definitely recommend is that as soon as this mix is done, you need to put it automatically ready and set to go in that loaf pan. Why? Because gluten-free flour tends to literally dry up very quickly and get very sticky quickly. So we want to avoid that, and that's why I like doing everything beforehand before the mix is done. Now that we both have the mix and the cheesecake filling, what I like doing is placing this in a measuring cup. It's just very much easier for me to handle when I'm literally assembling the loaf pan and the cheesecake. Spray your loaf pan with either a cooking spray or a ghee spray, and you can even do a little bit of melted butter on there just so everything doesn't stick. And now let's add in about 2/3 of a cup or half your batter pumpkin mix into that loaf batter. What we want to do is 3 layers. First layer pumpkin, second layer cheesecake, and third layer pumpkin bread that we're going to swivel around everywhere. Pouring in that luscious cream cheese filling, making sure that all sides are nice and evenly distributed. Let's add in our last layer of pumpkin bread on top of that cream cheese. Now, don't even worry about it if it just goes inside of the cream cheese, because honestly, what I'm literally doing is swirling it all over. It might look messy, it might look like this, but honestly, the end result is absolutely amazing. And I'm definitely either using a small spatula or a fork as you see in the video. Like I said, don't worry if it's messy, it's going to bake perfectly fine, because what we want to do is really everything is just going to get a little bit poofy and a little bit cheesy and a little bit creamy. So what we will see is that perfection all the way at the end for the sweet treat. Now it's time to place it in your 350-degree Fahrenheit oven and let it bake for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Just a quick note that I will be leaving in the video. At the 37 to 40 minute range of the baking, place a sheet of foil paper over the bread just to prevent it from getting too brown. Once the rest of the time is up, insert a toothpick in the middle of your loaf to check for doneness. Now, the toothpick should come out clean with a few little moist crumbs here and there, but we definitely don't want any raw batter. Once the bread is done, just put it on top of the wire rack and let that cool for a good 20 minutes. Yes, still in the pan. Now you'll notice the top, it's gonna go down. Regardless of what you do, it will go down because there is that thickness of that cheese that makes it go down. But that's what makes this very special, and it makes it that like brownie, moist, thick consistency that I love so much. Now that the 20 minutes have passed, now we're going to carefully invert it out of the loaf pan and onto the same cooling rack once again, and let it cool without the pan for another 20 minutes or until you want to serve it up. But make sure you wait those 20 minutes to cool down. Once you're done, you're ready to slice it up and enjoy. For the finishing touch, I'm just placing that cream cheese icing on top that I explained at the end of the video, and I will definitely have that recipe down below. It was literally the 3 ounces of leftover cream cheese with 1/4 of a cup of sweetened condensed milk that you should have had in your leftover can. And literally we're placing this together with that extract, with that zest, to make this beautiful icing that we place on top of this scrumptious sweet treat. For that decorative touch, just have long strips of orange zest and just place them right in the middle of your pumpkin bread, and that really just adds a pop of color to this beautiful treat.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I hope this becomes one of your winter, fall, October-ish kind of treats. Honestly, that like brownie, cheesecake, oh my gosh, pumpkin bread kind of hybrid is just, to me, this is just like literally one of my favorite things. As you see in this plate, like I really could not help myself, and I already started with the taste testing, but I'm gonna taste test it in front of the camera. So hopefully you can hear the texture. I don't know if you guys are gonna hear it that much, but this is just so good. And the cream cheese, like icing on top, it's not really an icing. It's super simple. Again, the same ingredients, and it just adds another level of yumminess to it. Okay, so let me give it, okay, here we go. This just makes me so happy. Like honestly, this is like Christmas, Halloween, and Thanksgiving all wrapped in like one beautiful little pound cake loaf pan. Guys, I hope you really do enjoy this recipe. I am obsessed right now. And remember that all the recipes are going to be on the website on that link below. If you have any recipe suggestions, please don't forget to hit me up on my DM, on my comments. I love responding to y'all, and I love communicating with you guys. So please don't forget to hit me up, and I will see you next week with a new video, because I'm bringing to you videos every single week. Okay guys, hope you have an amazing night or a wonderful day, and I will see you shortly. Ciao.